Welcome to Hastings Outdoors, straight from the Mississippi Flyway to your hearts. Let's go! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Hastings Outdoors. I am your host, Andrew, coming to you, not live at all in any way, shape, or form. This is already driving me up a wall. Anywho, coming to you, not live in any way, shape, or form, from the world-renowned, the internet-famous, the totally awesome Hastings Outdoor Studio. Come on in, have a seat, guys. It's my garage. My garage, ladies and gentlemen, at least for now. So come on in, have a seat, kick your feet up, relax, and enjoy the show. Lots of shenanigans ahead, lots of tips and tricks. Hopefully a laugh or two for you guys. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I can't make any promises, but 'tis the goal. So you can't really, well, you can kind of see his collar right here. Got my co-host Sam here rocking with me. Hey, Sam, can you say hi to the folks? Yeah, last time you were really bashful. Yeah, last time you didn't even look at the camera. Okay, well, there's that. Oddly enough, guys, right before I hit record, he was all up in my lap, licking my face, and didn't want to move away from me. But now that I'm recording, I guess he got bashful. See if we can perk his interest here. What was that? He is preoccupied. Not a very good co-host right now. He is chewing on what is left of the duck wing that he discovered in the Dream Building garage, ladies and gentlemen. And he has actually made a mess. And little did I know that when I was getting stuff ready for the podcast and all that good stuff, I was in and out of the house a little bit. And I think he took part of the duck wing inside. So I definitely have to get that cleaned up before Mom gets home. Otherwise, we're both in the doghouse. The only problem is we don't have a doghouse, so probably just outside. So there's that. Anywho, welcome, guys. For all of you who have been waiting on duck season to arrive, waterfowl season, duck season, whatever you want to call it, I am with you. I feel your pain. As of this recording, ladies and gentlemen, there are 5, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days until duck season opens for my zone here in northern Indiana. And I'm pretty excited about that, except for the fact that I have plans Saturday afternoon, so I can only hunt for a little bit. But hey, I get out there and I get a chance to go. I can go, and it's awesome. Totally excited. As always, I like to start with project updates. Well, surprise. I started getting ready for season, trying to button up stuff, little things here and there. Nothing crazy, nothing like rebuilding the boat and trying to get that done like last year. But little projects here and there, guys, trying to get ready for season. And lo and behold, I did not have enough rigs for my decoys. Didn't have enough. Minor undersight there, or oversight, I should say. Over, either way. Missed the target on that one for sure. But so, thank you to Amazon. I actually got some. I was looking into building my own. Everyone calls them Texas rigs. I don't know why they call them Texas rigs. I think Texas thinks a little too highly of itself sometimes. No offense, Texas, but seriously, get off your high horse. Anywho, JK, Texas. JK. I've been there. I get it. Calm down. No one really cares. But I sorry guys. I'm having a good day. I thought about making my own because last season what I did is I bought essentially a kit. It came with I want to say a dozen 4-ounce egg sinkers, egg weights, whatever you want to call them, and then had crimps and clips, all that good stuff, DIY. It was ballpark. 40-ish bucks. I was like, well, it's not horrible, right? And so I did that, and I ended up buying some more weights and making some more because with that kit, I ended up having more hardware than the weights, and I have a ton of line left over. It came with like the 400-pound something in monofilament, something like that, which I'll get to momentarily. That being said, this year, literally, I think it was last Friday. So when you guys hear this, this episode will air Tuesday, October 24th. So last Friday, I was working on the decoys, getting things, you know, switched from teal season to duck season, you know, getting all the mallards in there and all that good stuff. And yeah, I realized, oh, shoot, I don't have enough rigs. So I thought that I only needed some weights. Well, after doing an inventory of my hardware, the little clips and the crimps, I really only had enough to make up 5 more, but I didn't have the weights, and I was kind of bummed about that. However, thanks to Amazon Prime, we're back in business. But I was searching for the weights, guys. I was looking to buy some weights just to make up my own. And the only issue, man, my nose is itching me. I'm sorry, I'm not really picking boogies here on the episode, but my nose is driving me nuts. Anywho, I started shopping for weights, and believe it or not, you can buy lead weights, tungsten weights, all kinds of stuff. I call them big sinkers because that's all they are. For your Texas rigs, your decoy rigs, whatever you want to call them. We'll just call them Indiana rigs because I made them. Being goofy. Anywho, you can buy all kinds of weights for these. Lead, tungsten, you know, your non-toxic, lead, blah, blah, blah. Get on Amazon, get on the interwebs, eBay, all that stuff. You can buy weights all day long. Now, the big egg sinkers, I call them sinkers because that's what they are, folks. The big egg sinkers, they use them for a lot of things, fishing related. And so it's kind of a crossover here from fishing to waterfowlage. But yeah, so I was looking for those, and it was the goofiest thing ever, guys. I think China has a lot to do with this. No offense, China, but no one really likes you. Anywho. Getting rough, guys. Anywho, because I was looking to buy weights, and for the price of the weights I wanted, I was looking to just add about a dozen rigs. I don't know if I'm going to use them all, but I'd like to have enough, if that makes sense. I would always, when in doubt, I always try to have a little extra than not enough, because if you need it, you got it. If you got it, you're good to go. Anywho, some calls it. You guys get the point. So while shopping for weights, I did that weird thing again. It's crazy. Anywho, while I was shopping for weights, guys, I found that the price of about a dozen to 4 ounce weights was no. What are you doing? I don't know what he's doing. Anywho's, it's so for the price of the weights, I could buy pre-made rigs, and so that's what I did, guys. Right here, framing is not going to be so bueno, and trying to get the light right. You guys can kind of see the gist of the package. Rig 'em right waterfowl, 48-inch decoy anchors with 4 ounce weights. So I got a dozen pre-made, ready to rock out of the package for $30 or so. And with the price of the weights I was seeing, it would have cost me more. And so just a tip, a word to the wise. If you so choose to add to your decoys or replace some rigs, whatever it may be, guys, there are pre-made options out there. You can select lengths. I forget what all they had. I think it was like 3 to 6 foot, something like that. But yeah, you can pick up a dozen pre-made for roughly the price of the weights nowadays. So there you go. Thanks to the economy, everything's gotten expensive. It's really expensive to live nowadays. Anywho, so got that. Crisis averted. So I will be able to finish up the decoys and get my set how I want it to be. So that's cool. But a little bit of a project there. I got to wrap that up. It's kind of season prep project related. It's kind of intertwined. At this point, everything's blending anyway, so it's all good. And also, another project update, season prep tidbit. I ordered my hose, guys. You like my hose? All right. So this doohickey here, this contraption, as you see, right here, is the fitting for a 20-pound LP cylinder. And I got it. It splits out into 2, I believe, 5-foot hoses that fit the 1 pound. It's the male version of the 1 pound LP tanks. Try to take that off. You guys probably won't be able to see this, but the plastic was a little bit of a glare there. I don't know. It's not really framing too well, but yeah. So I got this splitter. That was like another $26 or so. That way I can hook. Hang on, big lift. Oh yeah, get my workout in, boys. I can hook a 20-pound cylinder to the giant Big Buddy heater here. That I think I left tanks in it last year. That's all good. But in case you guys are wondering, the Big Buddy, it takes two of those 1-pounders, the LP cylinders. And so, as I mentioned before, I didn't want to deal with the hassle of purchasing those little guys, keeping track of them, throwing them away, all that junk. And if you're goofy like me and you don't want to, you want to try to keep the boat nice and tidy-ish while you're hunting, I would take the little plastic cap off those 1-pound cylinders and put the new one in, take the old one out, put the cap on it, and set it off to the side. Well, that's very deceiving when you think you have a full cylinder of LP there, a little 1-pounder, and you find out it's empty and it's cold. I know, poor me. I had to be cold for all of a couple of hours, I know. But I survived, so there's that. But yeah, guys, little things here and there, just trying to button everything up and get it ready to rock, and not going crazy in the meantime. That's the biggest thing. Right, Sam? This dog cracks me up. He was running around like crazy, jumping up on these seats, jumping off, jumping onto the lawnmower, running around, having puppy fun, right? And turn the old record on, and guess it's nap time. Right, bub? He's ignoring me right now. Oh, hi. There you are. Are you going to say hi to the folks? You going to say anything? Can you sit up for a minute and just puppy wave? Show them the adorableness? That's why I brought you on here. Okay. See if we can tickle him with a feather here. Ooh. He is not amused. Yeah, so, anywho's, yeah, guys, like I said, just trying to button stuff up. Trying to make sure everything is good to go before Friday morning, because hopefully this Friday I'm going to get out and hit up a handful of spots that I think should be decent and see what's out there. I've been seeing a lot more birds in the area, which is a good thing. A lot of geese, Canadas, and a lot of ducks, mostly mallards. And so I'm seeing a lot more birds in the area, and just wanting to get out there the day before and see what I can find. See if I can find birds, sign, whatever it is. Mostly birds. I'm trying to find birds. That's it, pretty much. So I've got a couple ideas in mind. I don't know if I'm going to take the kayak, because I think most of the places I'm going, I can pretty much glass the lake and see what it looks like. So, not a big deal there. But I'm actually going to check out a place I've never been. And the reason being is last year, I was out hunting by myself, and when I was coming in, there was it was on the lake that I was on, obviously it's a public lake. But the area surrounding it is also state property, and excuse me. And I ran into an older gentleman out there who was unloading his kayak, and he seemed able-bodied, but I was standing right there, so I offered to help him unload, and got to talking a pinch, and he was talking about duck hunting and stuff, and he'd said, "Oh, I used to do that a long time ago, just haven't done it forever." And it seems to be a common theme around here. Either that, or people are just pulling my leg. Not really sure. I got a pretty good sense of character from people. I can read people decently, and I know a lot of people like to say, like, "Oh, I can read people for sure." No, you're not reading people. You're just assuming. But if you've lived any kind of life, if you grew up in a rough neighborhood, if you've experienced life, you learn to read people, aka you can kind of get a feel for their character and their morals and stuff pretty quick if you're paying attention. And he seemed like a decent guy. But You never know. Anywho, he seemed like a decent guy, and I was kind of talking to him about how my hunt went. Saw a handful of birds, had some birds on the water that were across the lake. I think they'd been there all day, all morning, I should say, and just kind of talked to him about that. And he said he actually mentioned another lake that was kind of adjacent-ish through the woods a ways, where he used to hunt and used to have a lot of success. He said for whatever reason it's a little bit narrower pond, big pond, small lake, and for whatever reason the ducks like to hit that more. And I've never seen it in person. I've never laid eyes on it. When I was actually squirrel hunting with my grandpa's gun, I had ran out of time, but I'd actually wanted to walk through and see if I could find this body of water to see what it looked like. And so the Friday, the day before, I'm probably going to get out there and check that out. I'm going to check out the lake adjacent to that where I've been, and probably a couple other spots just to see what I can do, see what I can make happen here, guys. I do have to be careful, though, because some of those areas out there are on a draw system for waterfowl, and so I will have to cross-reference, get a hold of the DNR there, or I guess the whoever's there, just to see if that's part of the draw system. Because if that's the case and I go out there, I'm not supposed to be there, and so that's no good. But Lord willing, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully there's birds there, guys, because that'd be cool. That'd be super bueno. There is another spot that I just haven't had time to get to. It's a bit of a drive from where I am, and it really would be worth it because it's been holding ducks for the last month and a half, and now it's starting to hold Canada's. And man, I really need to get some time to go up there and see if I can track down the landowner. The only problem is the only time I have in the evenings is tied up with, I've got my responsibilities, and I don't want to interrupt family time for this. So don't know. We'll see. Maybe Friday whilst I'm scouting, I can try to boogie up there. And another issue is that, with having my responsibilities and having my priorities, I can't just boogie off in the afternoon and do whatever I want because I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I got to take care of stuff. And yeah, so ideally, you want to catch people about early to mid-afternoonish, that 3 to 5 o'clock range before they've kind of settled in their evening and stuff like that. In my area, it seems like that's probably the best time to do it, unless it's like a Saturday morning. But this Saturday morning, I'm going to be hunting. So, yeah. So, I don't know. Definitely need to get up there and check that out. At least knock on doors, see what happens, guys, because this spot looks awesome. It's not very big. There's a river just south of it through some woods, which that would be an option. I could try that. However, I'm not really sure where I would put in for that, and that would be a long haul, just because the only access I know of is about, as the crow flies, it's about 15 miles south of there. And the only problem with that is the access is also south of a dam. So I don't feel like testing the rapids in my kayak or the boat in the pitch black. So that's a bit of a no-go. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to check out. Who knows? Maybe I'll just try to get up the river there. We'll see. We will see what happens, guys. I'm super excited, but you never know. So another tiddly bit. This isn't necessarily related to this season. This is something for hopefully next season. Maybe, fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Sam here is he'll be 18 weeks old this week, I believe. And yeah, so craziest story, guys. I don't want to recap everything from last episode, but for you guys that don't know, I'd wanted to get a dog, and I think I'd mentioned in other episodes that, hey, yeah, I'd like to get a dog someday, but for now I have the kayak. I'm going to be my own Labrador. That was the goal, and for this season, it's still true because he's a pup. But he was born mid-June of this year, and so hopefully, he's. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be ready to actually go full speed, get out there full time. And honestly, I don't know enough about it, guys. But as of right now, I don't think at a year he would really be good to go. But I definitely want to take him next season. But that being said, training starts now. And from all I've studied, all I've learned thus far, which isn't much, guys, the basics start with obedience, your standard training and whatnot, as far as, house breaking, kennel training, crate training, whatever you want to call it, and stuff like that. Simple commands: come, sit, no, stay, all that stuff. Also, don't forget the high fives, aka shake. Got to have that one. That's always a good one. But stuff like that. And so I've been working on that. Honestly, guys, I haven't even had him a week. And within the first couple of days, he got sit down really well. And I like to use hand commands for sit. I'm no professional by any means, guys. This is just stuff that I've done in my own personal experience. So when I give one of my dogs a command to sit, is an open hand, like stop, but that is accompanied with the command sit. The goal is that eventually, much like with my other dogs that aren't hunting dogs, I got a big old boy. He's a German Shepherd Akita mix. He's ballpark 100-pounder right now. And with him, I did the same thing, sit. And now, when I want him to sit, all I have to do is look at him and hold my hand out, or even, whatever. It doesn't have to be, I'm not pledging allegiance or whatever, swearing an oath in the court. Just hold my hand out like that, and he sits. And so working on hand commands with some of the simple stuff, and hopefully preparing the groundwork for other commands if I want to use hand signals for left, hand signals for right, whatever it may be, or even just left and right. I don't know. Verbal commands, hand commands, we'll see. But one of the things, guys, I'm going to bring this up here in just a moment. Months ago, almost a year ago, probably, I knew that in the future, I was going to get a dog for hunting, get a lab for duck hunting. And so what I did was I started doing research on it and researched, training dogs for hunting, that kind of thing, all that good stuff, and trying to learn as much as I can about it, and just trying to get prepared for when I would eventually get a lab. But my time frame got pushed up, so that's kind of cool because there's actually the breeder I got him from. They had the litter. I want to say middle of June to late June, and in this area, no one is buying dogs right now, it seems. All the shelters, believe it or not, are pretty full. I saw something in the local news the other day, or not that long ago, I should say, that the shelter for this county is completely full. So much so, in fact, that they were pretty much waiving fees trying to find homes for dogs. And all right. Sorry about that, guys. I'm on the tail end of some sort of post-nasal drip head cold thing. So all the shelters within literally my county and every surrounding county and really northern Indiana at large were at maximum capacity. And so, excuse me. That being said, it just seems that the market for dogs is pretty poor. And so I don't know what the original price they were asking for these pups was, but like I said, he'll be 18 weeks this week. And so I don't know when they were weaned, but I don't know. Anywho, so getting in the weeds, guys. But long story short, Tallahassee, shout out Tallahassee. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for the heads up. He knew this guy. He actually picked up a female yellow lab from the same litter, and told me about this breeder, and so I went and checked him out, and they were asking $200, $200 per pup for AKC Labs. That's, in my opinion, that's an absolute blessing and a heck of a deal. So yeah, and just a frame of reference, I don't know what the national average is for an AKC lab pup or anything like that, but just in my area, northern Indiana, and even a little bit further, because I was even searching a couple hours away, 3 hours away, just to see what I could find. Because if I could find a good deal on a decent pup, I wouldn't mind taking a road trip. But the last price I checked that was close-ish to my general area was $900 a pup for labs. And I'm no breeder. I am no dog expert. I am no dog connoisseur. I don't keep up with the going price for pups and stuff. I know that those old Labradoodles, the goofy dogs, they're pretty pricey. The what do they call them? The designer dogs. They're pretty salty, which blows my mind because you can't do anything with them other than have a nice house pet. I mean, I'm sure you could train a Labradoodle to do some things, but as far as like AKC or most of the kennel clubs, they don't accept anything other than purebred. So, just a word to the wise, if you're looking to do anything outside of like the purebred status, as far as breeding, say you got a Labradoodle or whatever, and you want to do whatever with it, I don't know. Or, for example, in my case, the Shepkita, German Shepherd Akita mix, which actually, by the way, guys, if you're looking for a house dog with a decent temperament, obviously you need to check and do your research before you go out and jump on this. But basically, I don't know. He's a big dog, not as big as Tallahassee's, but like I said, 100 pounds, big male, and he doesn't like strangers. So if you're looking for something, or looking for a dog for I call it my early warning system, which gives me that half second to grab my gun. Shepkitas are they're really good. Good with kids, great with kids. He's never shown aggression once, and but don't let that deceive you, because if he doesn't know you, you're gonna hear a growl and a bark from the depths of wherever he found it, and it's enough to run the UPS man off. So that being said, a little shout out for the Shepkitas out there. But Shepkitas, they're a mixed breed. You can't register them. Therefore, as far as pup prices go, good luck. And yeah, anywho. So back to the training part and all that stuff like that. Training starts now. It started day one. Obviously, you don't want to put too much pressure on the dog. You have to let your dog get acclimated to its environment. And there's a lot of changes going on in this dog's life. So, for example, I mean, for those of you who don't know, this is more or less for you. For those of you in the know, just bear with me. But when you go and buy a dog, from a breeder or whatever it may be, you get a puppy from a litter. That's what I'm specifically talking about. If you get a puppy from a shelter or something like that, or from a friend or someone, it's a little bit different. But if you get a puppy from a breeder, that they just had a litter, whatever it may be, there's going to be a lot of adjustment for that dog. And you got to keep in mind they're a baby still. So in Sam's case, he really didn't want to be alone. Well, I can understand why, because he was with his brothers and sisters since day one. And I don't think they'd sold any out of the litter except for the one that Tallahassee picked up until I bought Sam. And so he got used to that companionship, brothers and sisters there. The breeder had some children also. He's a family man. And so they got attention from the kids, got attention from, the family and stuff like that. So they already had an environment they've grown accustomed to, because that's all they know. And so when you remove that dog from that environment, there may be an adjustment period where things or behaviors may be less desirable than you want, but you have to keep in mind they're a baby. It's all new to them. So if you're looking to get a dog, be patient. If you are not patient, don't get a dog. Plain and simple. That that's just my thoughts and my opinion, guys. So take it for what it's worth. But if you're not patient and you're not willing to put in the time to raise and train this dog, don't buy a dog. I think a lot of that has to, a lot of the reason the shelters in this area are full are because people didn't, they like the idea of a dog, but they don't like the work that comes with it, because you have to take care of this animal. Dogs are social creatures. They require a structured environment. They require reliability, dependability, and this term is really cliche, and it's thank you, dog whisperer, or whatever his name is, Caesar, whatever his face was. Thank you for making this such a catchphrase, because it's kind of annoying now. But dogs really, when a dog joins a family, it has to be part of the pack. It has to learn the pecking order. It has to learn the rank, and it has to have structure in that environment for it to be healthy. Not always. Some dogs just don't care. Some dogs are just, for lack of a better term, they're dumber than a box of bricks. So they're whatever, right? But when you get into certain breeds of dogs, you have to keep in mind these dogs are intelligent. And unfortunately, I think a lot of times some people get dogs that are smarter than the owner, and they're, maybe they don't have time for the dog or whatever it may be. And so I think that's a lot of the reason a lot of dogs end up in shelters or getting euthanized, whatever. So just a word to the wise: if you don't have the time, or you don't make the time, and you're not willing to be patient and work with this dog to establish manners, to establish commands and training, don't get a dog. Borrow someone else's dog. I don't know. Go hunting with someone else who has a dog. It's an investment, guys. It's not just a monetary investment. It is a time investment. It can be an emotional investment, because it is extremely frustrating sometimes with a dog. Not so much Sam. He's new. We're getting there. But it can be emotionally frustrating too for the owner who's trying to train this dog, because much like this cracks me up. Much like human children, there will be periods of great learning followed by periods of regression and then learning again. And so you have to be patient and understand there's a process here. You stay steady, you stay consistent, and keep on with the training consistently and correction consistently, and you'll see good results. And that applies to your kids too. Not trying to say human children are have the same value as dogs, but I mean, let's be honest. Toddlers and puppies, they're kind of the same, except the one you can leave in a kennel and the other one you can't. Definitely shouldn't. Don't do that. If you do that, shame on you. Someone call the cops on you and have you arrested. Anywho's, long story, guys. I'm getting extraordinarily long-winded on my rant here about dogs, but I picked up this book. You guys won't be able to read it in the video, probably, most likely. Get as close as I can. Oh, that's not that bad. So it's a training book, and to the best of my knowledge, guys, let me rephrase that. Not the best of my knowledge, to the best of the internet's knowledge and advice, whatever. So you never know. This book is from what I saw, essential or very helpful, to say the least, for training a sporting dog. So I'm just going to read you the title here, guys, on the front of it. Sporting Dog and Retriever Training, The Wild Rose Way, Raising a Gentleman's Gun Dog for Home and Field. This was, I believe, I don't want to misquote this, but this is essentially a training manual, training book for sporting dogs, and it was done by, I believe, the founder of Wild Rose Kennels. And from what I've seen, guys, and I don't know for sure. From what I've seen, guys, the Wild Rose Kennels is it seems to be a reputable, or at least well-known kennel. They have locations throughout the country, and I think there may be some over in the UK as well. But I picked up this book, and it was actually hard to find, guys. I think I found it on eBay for like $50. But hey, whoa, calm down, champ. But if it helps, if it works, and if it gets me from where I am now to where I want to be, then cool. So definitely going to I have to crack the cover of this. I looked at like the table of contents, that kind of thing, but I haven't really dove into it much yet. That is on the list for the very near future as far as projects go, or whatever research projects, whatever. Go from there. But yeah, so starting day one with him. What I've done, obviously, day one, everything was new. There was a lot of whining involved because he was out of his comfort zone. He was in a new environment. He didn't know anyone. He hadn't met anyone. Didn't know anyone. Everything was new. So day one didn't really bother working with a lot. I did make sure to take him outside to start that potty training routine, and mostly just to give him a chance to get outside and away from the family, away from all the stimulus or the stimuli, whatever you want to call it, inside, because this litter is actually, I believe they were kept in a barn slash kennel area, whatever it is, from the time they were weaned. And so hadn't been in the house. And actually the guy I purchased them from was an Amish breeder. So it was kind of funny seeing him see a TV for the first time. I was kind of concerned, guys, because he sat down. I was just staring at the TV, watching TV like the kids were, and I was a little worried I got a couch potato, which that's another thing he had never seen before was a couch. Didn't know what to think of it, but now we can't keep him off of it, and he absolutely loves it. He'll bury himself in the pillows. It's kind of adorable. But so yeah, day one didn't really do a whole lot. It was just introductory stuff, trying not to overstimulate this dog, and trying to comfort and relieve pressure where I can. Just very simple stuff. Make sure he knows where food and water is. Make sure he, if he needs someone by him, whatever it may be, that you're paying attention to him. And obviously, safety stuff. Make sure he's not chewing on something that could hurt him. Make sure he's not chewing up the kids' toys, because little small pieces, believe it or not, I don't care so much about the toys. They have lots of toys. They're fine. But if he breaks off a small piece and swallows it, well, depending on what it is, that's a surgery. So safety stuff like that, just keeping all that in mind day one. And also keeping all that in mind moving forward, but it should get better with time as far as the pressure goes, the anxiety goes, whatever it may be, and him getting aware of his surroundings, learning where the boundaries are, stuff like that. And as far as day two goes, started with sit, just a simple command, sit. And he picked it up within a matter of a couple of minutes, really. And it also helps that I had treats for that reward system there. So within a matter of a couple of minutes, he would sit for a treat. And so, obviously, once he sat, he got the treat, good boy, pat on the head, and we would repeat that process for a few minutes until he got to the point where he just wasn't having it, couldn't focus, seemed like he was overstimulated or just uninterested, and then stop. But now, this is what, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, guys, going crazy. But this is what, I got him Wednesday of last week, so yeah, I'm counting on my fingers, guys. It's been one of those weeks so far, and it's Monday. So yeah, this is the 5th day he's been here, and sit is pretty good. I still have to give the verbal command with the hand command, the nonverbal command, whatever you want to call it. However, in combination, sit is obeyed, so that's cool. Still working on the whole jumping part. I don't, me personally, I don't mind if a dog wants to, jump up on my leg to get, their head scratched, whatever. However, with children, that's not a good thing. And with strangers, you don't want him just jumping up on strangers, because that's not good either. So really working on that. And one of the best things, or I guess one of the best things I heard, or tips I heard, whatever it is, when it comes to that behavior, is to correct the behavior and then don't give them attention. And all too often what people do is, if a dog jumps on them, they'll, gently push them down, like, no, don't jump, no. And then they'll pet the dog and reward them for that. And so whether you mean to or not, you are actually rewarding bad behavior by doing that. And so what I've started doing with him, as far as I'd say day 2, 3, whenever he would jump up on my leg, wanting attention or wanting to play where it may be, which I have no problem with the attention or wanting to play, but the behavior I'm trying to correct. When he would jump up on my leg, I would push him down, give one command, no, and turn my back to him. And so he's learning that right now. He's getting to the point to where he doesn't do it repeatedly. After correction, it kind of settles down. He realizes, oh yeah, okay, and then he'll end up sitting by my side, sitting by me, or he'll walk around in front of me and sit. And I kind of call that dog pouting, but I also call it good behavior. So once he does that, then I will pet him, I will give him attention, and so on and so forth. So I am not rewarding a non-desirable behavior in trying to correct that. And another pro tip for you guys, there are 1,000 different theories on how to train your dogs. Every dog is different. You're going to have different demands, different needs, different wants from whatever. And so take that for what it's worth, guys. Every situation is going to be a little different. But one of the sorry, getting a little sidetracked here. One of the things that I try to put in practice when it comes to training dogs is simple commands. Don't give your dog a mouthful of words to try and remember for a command. So, for example, sit. That's it. I'm not saying sit down. Sit down, buddy. Sit down. Sit down. Sam, sit down. Sit. It's not, okay, you need to sit down now. It's not, okay, stop, sit, no, stop. That's too much. It is too much going on. Could a dog learn that? If it was consistent and repeated, maybe, most likely. However, short and sweet, to the point. Sit. No. Come. That's it, guys. That's it. Simple commands. And you can always, for example, with my other dog, my big male, Shep Kita, when I tell him to sit, he knows, and most of the time I don't even tell him to sit. I just hold my hand out. And once he sits, I'll be like, I'll pet him, whatever. But if I do tell him to sit, say he's a little anxious, he's amped up, he's happy, whatever it is, he's playful. Sometimes it's harder to get his attention, and sometimes you have to regain that focus to get him to behave, and not behave. Not like he's misbehaving. He's just excited. And so when I have to verbally and physically give a command, sit. Sometimes he knows what that command means. He's almost 3 years old, I think. And so he knows what that command means. It's not his first rodeo. So with him, sometimes I'm like, okay, sit, bub. Sit, good boy. Whatever it is, stuff like that. I don't mind throwing that in, but if you're just starting, short, sweet, to the point, simple commands like in, sit, no. Start simple, guys, and be consistent. And another tidbit for you guys along that same line, the more consistent you are, the better. So the more simple your command is, easier it is for you to remember it and replicate it. And so that will add to your consistency over time. Anywho's McCalls, guys, I am getting long-winded on this. Just want to kind of give you guys an update and kind of dive into the whole training thing, guys. I'm kind of hitting the ground running. I've never actually trained a lab for retrieval purposes. I've trained several dogs to fetch. I've trained dogs as far as sit, stay, come, in, down, up, stuff like that. So if I want one of my dogs to jump up, like say on my tailgate, I'll point to the tailgate and say up, or point down and say down, stuff like that. But as far as actual retrieving for a sporting dog or hunting dog, this is all new to me, guys. So I am going to be a sponge for research, a sponge for knowledge, and try to do my level best and really just try to give Sam the best opportunity he has and the best launching pad for success in the future. And also, the more work I do on the backside as far as learning and stuff like that, and working on what I need to do to train him, the less. It's no guarantee by any means. Dogs, especially labs, especially whatever dogs. Some dogs can be stubborn. Some dogs can be strong-willed. They are individuals, and so there's no guarantee that'll go according to plan. However, by working on my end of it and working with him and working together, I can build that trust, and hopefully through the work I'm doing on the back end and building that trust, it'll make things go a lot easier, when the time comes to really add, more difficult tasks, stuff like that. So, long story short, guys, hey, I am looking forward to Saturday. I am looking forward to getting out there and finally starting my duck season, guys. Like I said, I missed teal season. I didn't see any birds. It's a bit of a wash. So I said, we'll go hunt dove. That turned out to be kind of a wash. So waiting for duck season, guys. Oh, man. But it's finally close, guys. 5 days. 5 days as of this recording. It'll be 4 days when this airs. So for those of you who are waiting, hang in there. It's getting close. For those of you who might be in northern India, for you guys in northern India who are listening, I don't even know about waterfowl over there. For you guys in northern Indiana, hang tight. We're getting there. It's very, very close. It'll be here before you know it. So get out there, get prepared, get your stuff ready, and a little bit of a pun for you guys. Get your ducks in a row. Until then, guys, until next time, I should say, I will catch you later. I got a lot of work to do. So have a good day. If you're at work, hang in there. Whenever you're listening to this, I hope you're having a great day. I'll catch you later. Peace. Check out Hastings Outdoors on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Thanks for listening.